Finally, let's take a look on the new tanks that got added. I'm gonna do this as quickly as I can, and you probably already saw these in the teaser and other channels, but of course, even though I try to focus more on aircraft, I honestly like to play tanks. It's just that for me, aircraft come first. Oh my god, how am I missing that? But yeah, this is the T1, which is the normal T1 E1 that you normally see, but with the 90mm. The armor is pretty much the same, if I'm not mistaken. But now you have a 90mm, even with the M82 shot, it is pretty much the same gun as the Pershing, or the first Pershings, right? Which is M3 gun, so pretty cool. Of course, you have the like secondary gun there. I think it's a 37, right? With a lot of ammunition. And yeah, very cool tank. Of course, it's still a heavy tank. It's even heavier now, so you gotta be careful with that. So the T1 is now coming at 5.7 T1 E1 90 over here, between the jumbos, right? The 75 and 6. And as I said, I mean, the armor is pretty much similar to all the other T1 as well, right? Then we go for the Puma. The Puma in the end of the line of the Puma here. This is the Puma S1, I think it would be called, I think, or VJTF, sorry. But yeah, pretty much the same Puma as you already know. Very similar to the KF-41, and now with the ATGM. So it's the Spike ATGM. If I'm not mistaken, is it Spike? I always forget, like, confused with Strike, but it's Spike, right? But yeah, APFSDS, everything that we like. And of course, remember, with this ATGM, it is a fire and forget one with image, so you can just lock the targets and get a kill. Look at the zoom on this thing, but yeah, you can just, no, yeah, there you go. You can just fire and forget. As you see, the missile will track by itself and hit the target. Sometimes it misses, obviously, you know how these things are. But still, it is pretty cool. Let's see if we can kill it. It has a lot of zoom. There you go. There you go. Come on. There we go. Nice. And of course, you have the normal gun that the Puma has. Pretty big vehicle, but it is a pretty interesting one. The mobility is pretty much the same as the other Puma, okay? It's a KF-41, right? Sometimes it misses, but it is pretty good. I think he does have the IRCC, the IRST. With this ammunition, I'm probably not gonna... Oh, I hit it, actually. It's pretty cool. So yeah, very cool vehicle. And now we have the Shuka, or rather, the Afghan, which is the Shuka without a radar. This thing doesn't have any type of guidance for you to actually lock an aircraft, right? So you gotta guess where the target is and shoot it. Since it has such a good fire rate, you can still do well, but it is going to be harder than with the radar, I gotta say. Especially at longer ranges. This thing doesn't have a lot of range at all, you know, but it has a pretty good fire rate, and of course it has more ammunition and a lower BR, so it might be a very good AA system actually for you to play around with. Not that the USSR needed another one, and I gotta say, I would still prefer to see something like the Osa or the Tor instead of these, but I guess it is something that can be used and in a lower BR, right? So yeah. Another little change that I showed in the you might have forgotten video or might have missed video, the T-80UE actually got a little new thing. It has the camouflage now, and with that, you can actually paint it, you know, with the skin, right? So I think if you change it, the camouflage is changing as well. Let's see. Where is the winter one? Yeah, so very, very cool to see this. And I think the Vextra as well has something like this. So yeah, they're probably going to add for more tanks, but for now, it's just for these two. Then we go for another A system that it's pretty good, man. The Stormer. Very good ammunition, very good mobility. Everything is pretty... Oh, flight, no. Oh my god. But a pretty good... new AA system for the British. It is a Stormer vehicle, but instead of that, it just like being a normal, I mean, there's nothing normal about the Stormer, right? But still, a different type of AA with missiles and stuff. Now is basically like a Vulcan kind of situation. So it has the IRST over here that you can use this kind of slow firing Vulcan, which is pretty interesting. And you have the good old Stingers as well. So it is pretty good. It has two types of Stingers, the K and the E, if I'm not mistaken. I think now we are, let me reload with the K. And we have these 25mm Vulcan gun that the animation is not ready yet, but it is going to be pretty good. Of course, no armor whatsoever, you know, obviously. But it's still pretty good. It has the thermals. Yeah, very precise, as you see. Let's see if I can fire on that guy. Oh, I need to stop. I forget that I need to stop. Come on. There you go. Has only 4 missiles, but it will help you get some kills. And the K variant of the Stinger is pretty good. It's not a bad missile. It can do very well even at distance, right? And the gun is pretty good as well. So this is, I gotta say, long awaited. It doesn't have a lot of ammunition though. You gotta really be careful with the ammunition. It really does not have a lot. So you got to be careful with that. Don't waste your ammunition. And it is, for now, a 10.0. I don't know if it's gonna be changed or not. And it's after the Marksman and the ZA, right? And before the Stormer HVM. So another weird Stormer vehicle, right? But still pretty cool to see. In the Japanese, we have the RCV, which is a pretty interesting vehicle as well. Nothing too crazy to talk about it here. I think you saw already on the teaser and stuff. I'm not gonna talk too much. It has the Bushmaster 30mm, penetrates pretty well with the APF SDS. It has an IRST, right? And this little thing here kind of can be extended to actually look around as well. So it is a pretty good tank. With, of course, the Chinese, we have the Al Khalid that already talked a little bit about it. Very good Pakistani tank as a